part 3. These are Northanger Abbey, Pride and Prejudice, and Journey to the Center of the Earth, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, War of the Worlds, Wuthering Heights, Ball Flanders, Jane Eyre, my favorite, and then Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. I was trying to find all the Sherlock Holmes and I failed miserably. There's the More Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, Treasure Island, Picture of Dorian Gray, Frankenstein. I don't know if you can see this. This is a well-read version of Charlotte Bronte. Jane Eyre. Well-read. Which is why I have 2 copies, because that one is falling apart. Pages are like leaping from them. And then these guys. I have The Phantom of the Opera. And can you see this? It's actually called The Journal of Professor Abraham Van Helsing, and it goes into how Van Helsing came to be. And then Anne Frank, Story of a Young Girl, or Diary of a Young Girl, and then Shane. And this one is Moby Dick. And then here we have She from H. Rider Haggard, along with King Solomon Mine, Alan Quatermain, and then here we have Robin Hood, and the one who's sticking to him is The Outsiders, which is a fantastic book. And then The Last of the Mohicans. I love the movie, so I had to read the book, of course. And then I found more Sherlock Holmes, complete novels and stories, volume 1, and I never found volume 2, which made me really, really sad. And then 1984, and then Heidi, because 1984 is a sad book, so I figured I'd put Heidi right beside it to balance that out. Public Enemies, which is a really good read, and it was also, the movie was based on it, Public Enemies. And then Board of the Rings, which is hysterical. Toes! Hairy toes! Let's see. There you go. Lord of the Rings. To go with Lord of the Rings, the trilogy. And then I have The Hobbit and the Silmarillion. And then do Android's Dream of Electric Sheep. Oh, there it is. And then Chocolat, which is an awesome book. And then I can go into movies. Movie books. Jurassic Park, awesome read. And then Mad Max. I never saw this one before, so I thought it would be fun to get. And then Hellboy, I've never seen. I started collecting movie books like years and years ago. And then Tomb Raider. And then Trumpet of the Swan. These 4 books is Bunnicula, and then Nighty Nightmare, and then Howl Day In, and the Celery Stalks at Midnight. They're kids' books, but they are fantastic. I still read them to this day. I won't tell you how old I am, though. And then over here, I have Dances with Wolves, V for Vendetta. And then The Phantom. I couldn't find the movie forever and ever, but I found the book, so I figured that was just as good. And then Lady Hawk, which was a really good movie, and then Van Helsing, and then The Mummy, and then The Scorpion King, and then these 3 books rather, were part of my top 10, but I couldn't decide, so they kind of all got lumped into one book. So Sister Light, Sister Dark, The White Jenna, and The One-Armed Queen. Awesome series, beautiful, absolutely stunning. And then Aliens, and then Diablo. I started collecting Diablo and then kind of ran out of steam. And then Johnny Mnemonic. The book is way better than the movie. I don't understand why. And then Adventures of Tom Sawyer, which is astounding. Of course, the old classic. And then Virtuosity, Demolition Man, iRobot, Chronicles of Riddick. He's my favorite character on the planet ever. The Crow, Star Wars, Serenity, and that's Terminator. And then I got into Wolverine for a long time, so I got a bunch of X-Men guys. And then The Color Purple, which is a sad book. Sad! William is also a sad book. The Island Keeper, Featherstoke, Tiger Eyes, and The Handmaid's Tale. And top 10, right there. I love The Handmaid's Tale. And Wolverine's Daughter, which is astounding. And then The Mothman Prophecies, which is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And The Stonehenge Legacy, which is a kind of adventure book. Kind of belongs over in that section, but I don't have any room. I actually don't have any room anywhere, but there's Willow, based off the movie. And then Might and Magic. This was an awesome read. I wish they would make sequels. Sequels, damn it! Anyway, so there's Vlad. And somewhere's over here, I can't find it right now, but I have The Historian, which is also about Dracula. And then I have Memoirs of a Geisha. Beautiful read. Beautiful. And then it just gets darker. Ugh. Okay. Can I do this? Constantine, more book movies, and then Poltergeist, Triple X, Cinderella Man, Ultraviolet, Aliens vs. Predator, The Rundown, and then Moonrise. I think that's it for my movie books. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I bought that when I was young and romantic. And then we have Sky Captain and The World of Tomorrow, which is fun. And then we have Taipan. That. Even they're kind of written in back in, I think, the 60s or 70s when they were a little bit more wordy. So it was a really good read, an adventure story by all means, but wordy. And then of course Master and Commander and The Far Side of the World. I Love Ships, which is why these three are together, because Taipan is all about shipping and giant tall ships, and so are these guys. And then Doom. Oh, you don't belong there, you belong over there. But the Fated Sun trilogy, that's fun. Ilium I tried to get into, but it was so hard I couldn't do it. So every once in a while I make an attempt, and then I put it down. Then we have Underworld, and then The Kingless Land, or The Vacant Throne, Kingless Land, and then this is my other favorite series, Plutonium Blonde, Doomsday Brunette, Radioactive Redhead, Flaxen Femme Fatale, Blue-Haired Vixen, or Blue-Haired Bombshell, Frost-Haired Vixen, and then the Sapphire Sirens. They're hysterical. I love them. This is the guy who wears bulletproof underwear. If you guys understand what I'm saying, then you've read it. If not, you should probably invest in it. And then Gil's Off-Right Diner. My ultimate very favorite book on the whole entire planet. It also has been taped together. Pages are falling out. It has been crimped. It's been dropped. It's been tortured. This poor book has been tortured. So I have to get a new one. This one is falling apart. Pages are starting to leak from the spine. Anyway, this guy goes, let's see if I can find it, with this one. A Company of Orcs. Ogres. And this book is also about, this isn't the same characters as that. These are brand new characters. If they made a sequel to Gil's Off-Right Diner, I would totally be in there like a dirty shirt. And then Umberto Eco. So, Name of the Rose, and then Foucault's Pendulum, pardon me. And then the Callahan Chronicles and Callahan's Lady. These guys are hysterical. I highly recommend reading this if you can find it. If you want a feel-good book, there's so many short stories in here that are awesome and beautiful and wonderful and helpful and inspiring. So he makes my top 10. How many top 10s have I had? I don't even know. And then Peter Benchley, you remember Jaws? He wrote that. And then this is called Beast. And this is about a shark, and that's about octopus. And then Emergence. Let's see if I can do this. Emergence. End of the world. And she is a genius, and she lives in a bomb shelter who her dad bought, and it goes through adventures on trying to find other people. It's a really good book. Also falling apart, beaten and tortured, taped together. And then come here. Here. This is Eaters of the Dead. Now, do you remember the movie 13th Warrior? Well, this is the book. It was based off of it. And the book is like 1,000 million times better than the movie. Even though the movie was really good, the book is even awesomer. And then Worm, which is another top 10. I don't even know how many top 10s I have right now. I could be top 11. Anyway, so Worm by Mark Fowey. And this is a computer virus that infects everyone, or infects all computers all over the world, and is starting to have an effect. And Michael has to fix it before the end of the world. So it's actually a really awesome book. It's how many pages? It's 594 pages. But this is an awesome book. Did I miss anyone? Oh yes, Meg! Hell's Aquarium. This, I want them to turn into a movie so bad. This whole series. I don't have the other two because I borrowed them, but this is the one that I bought. But this is the one I would just adore it if they turned it into a movie. I would just pee my pants with excitedness. Anyway, I shouldn't say that on TV or on YouTube. Okay, moving on. Let's start over here. So these guys are all the way here. So that's quite the shelf. But all of these guys are the Cat Who mysteries. Every single one of them, except for the last one. I heard nothing but bad things about the last one, so I didn't get it. But the Cat Who series is whimsical. It's fun if you have a cat, or if you have a cat, or if you know of a cat, or if you ever owned a cat ever and know that you are not in control. This book series is amusing. Is highly amusing. They're quick, short, fast reads. They have a beginning and end. They're standalones, so if you buy only one of them, you can just buy one of them. She does go through a lengthy introduction every single time, so you're not lost completely when you start a book. But they are one of the more amusing mysteries that I've ever read in my life. Anyway, because I'm a huge fan of this entire series. It's amazing. And they're well written. Like, they're fun. You get really involved with the characters. You get really involved with, the land they're in, or the universe that they're in, I guess. Anyway. Move these over so I can get to here. So, there we go. So then I have the Indiana Jones books, which is amazing, because, everyone loves Indiana Jones. And then I have the English Patient. And then Recipes for Charms. Can you see that? Dave Barry's Complete Guide to Guys. Makes a lot of sense. And then I have Holes. And then Naomi Wolf's Promiscuities. And then Mythical Wood. I haven't read that in a long, long time. I should probably read it again. And then these guys. Hammer of God, Raven Kingdom, Empress. So good. And then the Dragons of Babel. And then What Time Devours. Very good books. Very good books. I really like that series. And then, because I like to torture myself and not sleep at night, this is kind of my horror section, but not really. So these guys is Stephen King. You can't see it. I'm going to bring it out. But it's called Stephen King's The 4 Different Seasons. And as you can see, it is so old, it's turning yellow and mottled, and like the pages are crumpled. It's dusty. But it's a really well-read book. There. Okay. So then I have Ripper and Charles DeLint. In a Dark Dream. Can you see that? There. In a Dark Dream. And then these are the Eyes of the Dragon. Can you see that? Nope. Let's do it this way. This is actually one of his better novels that I enjoy. Most of his novels for Stephen King, I really like the story. I like the beginning, I like the middle, and he needs to hire someone to end the novels, because the man doesn't know how to write an ending. My personal opinion. Because it matters oh so much. And then we have... bring some more out. There. Kind of hard to see, but Primeval, and then The Right Hand of Evil. Still hard to see. Let's see if I can do this. I'll bring them up here. And the Darkest Part of the Woods is a terrifying novel. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And then Chain Letter by Christopher Pike from my youth. And then... Alright. Kind of organize myself a little bit. Put you back. There. Okay. So, Tommyknockers by Stephen King. Awesome, awesome beginning, awesome middle, terrible ending. Terrible! And then It. That is a really well-read book. Can you see? This used to be solid. It used to have, like... It used to be black. It used to have a back cover. So as you can see, this is one of those seriously well-read books. Like, well-read. It was a beautiful, awesome, terrifying novel. Terrifying. Ending was okay. It was okay. It wasn't the best ending ever, but it was better than his normal endings. But if you want to be terrified and you want a really good read, It. Another one that you could see is a really well-read. Like, they don't even have a cover anymore. I don't know how it's holding it together. Pages are falling out. I have to get a new book. Anyway. So, The Stand. Also an awesome book. It's absolutely wonderful. Terrible ending. You know, but well-read. There. Put that back. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to tape that too. It makes me sad when I have to buy new books because they're falling apart and in terrifyingly bad shape. But sometimes a book just cannot withstand my reading. Anyway, let's move this over. Okay, can you see these guys? So the green one is called Labyrinth by Kate Moss. And that's a huge read. I haven't actually gotten all that far in it, but it was good when I was reading it. And then there's Beldane's Fire, Sadar's Keep. Those were really good. Ghost Walk and Unhallowed Ground were terrifying. White Raven and She Who Remembers are the best, like, top 10. Right, automatically. Top 10. It's probably top 12 now. I don't know. I guess you guys are keeping count because I'm not. But White Raven, She Who Remembers, awesome books. Then there's Three Sisters. And then Forbidden Science, Eric Van Daniken, Chariots of the Gods. And then the Nephilim. Ugh. And the Pyramids of the Apocalypse. I don't know if you can see that. There. Still can't see it. Let's try it this way. There you go. This is a funny book. Alright. And then in my sideways pile, we have House of Leaves. I haven't wanted to go into the desert and find myself yet, so I'm not sure if I'm being impressed by it or not. And then I love Umberto Eco. So I haven't actually read this, but this is my next ambition. And then I finally found the original illustrated Sherlock Holmes, Arthur Conan Doyle, with all 356 original illustrations. So I haven't read it, I haven't actually gone through it, but it looks like in really good, not condition, but a good read. So I can finally sit down and read all of them, and as opposed to trying to find stories. It's kind of terrifying. Graham Hancock, Supernatural. These guys wrote Holy Blood, Holy Grail, or part of it. I used to have it. I cannot find it right now, but the book is amazing. This one in particular is really kind of eye-opening on certain ideas, certain facts, certain, how the world used to work back in caveland days. I don't know, can you see anything in here? Anyway, so he's trying to explain to us that the world that we see and the spiritual realm and the supernatural realm are all interconnected, and I don't know, it's you'll have to read it to really fully understand what it is that he's trying to say in this book, because it's hard to give you a blurb without giving you the entire book in 4 hours. This is a book that I bought. It was really, really interesting, but I have not read it. And for some reason, I cannot get into it. I read the first, chapter or two, and I was like, put it down. I was like, done. I don't know why I couldn't get into it. This was a birthday present. The Great Encyclopedia of Fairies. And this is a fun book. Let's see if I can do this. Ugh. It gives you stories, illustrations, how they came about, when they came about, where they originated. All kinds of stories. The illustrations are beautiful. Anyway, so that's that. And then down on the very bottom, if you can get there, this is kind of where my myths lie. So I have an atlas in there, and then mythology, folk tales, mythology. Some Far Side, and possibly Gary Larson books in there. And then these guys, I'm not going to take them out. I'm just going to let you see them. But they are the Mysteries of the Unknown books. And there is so many in there that they actually need kind of like a one book dedicated to just glossary. And that's what they did. I hope you can see that. Anyway, that's the bottom shelf. Mythologies. I was really into where all these myths, legends, and folklore came from, so I had to get a bunch of books. And I found I couldn't just find small, tiny books that would, give me a brief information. I had to find the biggest, heaviest, ginormous books on the planet. So, that's me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this 3-part series of my library. I haven't gotten to the ones that are floating around my apartment yet because my apartment is a giant mess. I finally just organized the library, and that helped keeping my mess in check. Anyway, maybe next time I'll do my movies or my games, my PS3 games, and maybe recipes. That would be fun. Anyway, thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.